Hi everybody, this is Tina Benson with Stat Canine Training, and today I'm going to talk to you about puppy training. These are some of my most important tips for raising your puppy, and the most common one that I'm asked is about puppy training. So when you bring your puppy home, just know that for bladder control, it's usually about 1 hour of bladder control per 1 month of age. So if usually you're getting a pup around 8 weeks old, that's got about 2 hours of bladder control. And if your puppy's been playing vigorously inside, that can also stimulate elimination. You want to get it out sooner than later, and also if it has just taken a drink, you also want to get it out the door quicker than usual. Even if it just pottied a half an hour ago, it takes a drink, you want to get it out. And also when it eats, just be aware that, okay, it's going to have to go soon. So and then when you do potty your dog, go out the same door each time and go to the same area to eliminate. Do yourself a favor and don't go off the property unless you really don't want your puppy going on the property. But just think of inclement weather, if it's like a downpour or it's snowing. You don't want to have to walk around the block each time you want your dog to eliminate. You want to train your dog to go in the same area each time so that it's easier for you to train, and it also gets the puppy used to going in the same spot. I know some dogs have to go around the block, literally, in order to go to the bathroom, and it's just such a hassle. So save yourself some trouble there and take them out to the same area, and then use whatever command, go potty or whatever it is that you choose, do your business, whatever, and then wait them out. Give them time and be patient, okay? They're going to mill around, they're going to sniff. Try not to nag them when they're sniffing around. You know, you don't have to say it 25 times. Just sort of wait them out. And if it's, you know, going on for a couple of minutes, then they're not doing anything, you might want to just take a step or two and just say the command again, do your business, and then again, wait them out. And then when they do eliminate, wait until they're completely done, and then you can say, good job. And if you want, some people train, you know, give a couple treats. I'm not big on the treats, but if you want to do that, that's fine. If you feel like it, you know, helps to reinforce, that's fine. But you want to back off that sooner than later. But it's fine to do that if that's what you want to do. And then once again, just bring them in and be mindful of when they drink, when they eat, and if they've just been, if they just finished some vigorous play, then you want to get them out. And then just jot down a log of when they have gone so that you can, you know, make sure that you get them out before they have an accident, because accidents are on us. They're not on the dog. A puppy has no way of holding its bladder, has no way of knowing that you don't want it to go in the house. That's your job to train, and it's also on you if the puppy has a mistake, an accident. If you do have an accident, you want to get this, Nature's Miracle. It's a stain and odor remover, and it has enzymes in it. And this is the best thing that you can get to make sure that your dog doesn't start to mark the same area in the house. This will clean everything up and get it out of the carpet. So make sure you invest in a bottle of this. You can get this at your local pet store. Next thing is training for your puppy. Everything should be food training. Use your dog's daily kibble. You want to take the kibble that your puppy would eat in a day and just put it in a bowl. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner, put all of that in one bowl, and then that's how you're going to train your puppy. When it's time for the puppy to eat, you're not going to put it in a bowl and just set the bowl down. You're actually going to train your dog, and you might hear my dogs going crazy in the background. They just ate and they're very excited. So, good boy. I see you over there. Crazy boy. So you want to use the kibble to train your dog, and this does several things. It's like if you have kids and you make your kids do chores in exchange for allowance, okay? They don't get anything for free, they have to earn it. So same with puppies, they have to earn their food. And you're gonna go through, you know, your obedience commands, your sit, down, stay, come. all using kibble. And you can see I have a bunch of videos on my YouTube channel and even on my Facebook page where I'm doing drills with dogs and puppies. And you can just use kibble to do those drills, and it makes the dog work. It's mentally stimulating for them, and it reinforces obedience with them, and it also builds your relationship with your puppy, and they look to you as you're the leader and it's time to work. So it's a very positive experience for your puppy. So make sure that you're not just filling a bowl full of kibble and putting it down and not asking your dog to do something. We need to start asking our puppies now to do the things we want them to do when they grow up to be dogs, because if we don't, we're going to end up with this really unruly, disobedient dog, and it's a lot harder to have a dog that has problems than it is with a puppy that just needs training. It's a lot easier if you just start in puppyhood. The next thing is so important. You must crate your puppy. First of all, for safety, and secondly, because it creates that safe den-like area. Okay, dogs are used to a den atmosphere. I mean, that if they were in the wild, they would have a den. And it is not cruel to crate your puppy. It's safe. It's the safest place for your puppy. Keeps your puppy out of trouble. Keeps them from chewing up the furniture, eating socks, destroying furniture and toys or shoes and things like that. You want to make sure that you start crating your puppy immediately, and you keep continuing the crating. It's a skill. Once your puppy learns it, don't stop once it turns 6 months old and just say, okay, I'm going to get you out of that crate because I feel so bad for you. No, it's a safe place for your puppy. When your puppy goes to the groomer, it's going to be in a crate. When your puppy goes to the vet, if it needs to stay at the vet, it's going to be in a crate. If you ever have a situation where you have to board it, at some point during its boarding, when you're on vacation or something and it goes into boarding, it's going to at some point be in a crate because it's safe in a crate. It won't be able to eat something, get it stuck and then have to have a procedure where it could die under anesthesia, and it's going to cost you $3 grand to get the thing retrieved out of its stomach. You want to be sure that, it could, be rummaging through the trash and eating chicken bones, and then you really have a big problem on your hands. Don't buy into this idea that if I crate my dog, it's cruel. It's not cruel. They sleep in crates. That's what dogs do. Dogs require 18, 19 hours of sleep a day. So while you're at work earning money to pay for their food and put a roof over their head and give them a great life, then you're asking them in exchange, I need you to be in the crate, and you're going to have to be okay with that, and you will be okay with it if you start your puppy out early and you don't give it all this freedom where it thinks it should be, free to roam the house and not in a crate. That's when you're going to run into problems. So the crate is your friend. Use it. I encourage you to use it and always practice crating, and keep your puppy in the crate for a good period of time, a couple of hours at a time while you're home, so that you can have some sanity, and you also don't feel bad because you are in effect using the crate time as it's a good training time for the puppy. It's learning that, okay, I just need to learn to be in this crate and be okay. And you can give it a toy or two. It doesn't have to be, don't put 20 toys in there. Don't drop a bunch of food in there. If you need to toss a little, scatter a little bit of kibble to get them in there, that's fine. You want it to be a positive experience. When they come out of the crate, make sure they're calm before you open that crate door. If they whine and they carry on in the crate because they want out, never give in to a puppy when they are carrying on, whining and barking, okay? And you want to have a bonker for those times. This is a rolled up towel. You can also use your hands and say quiet, but if you have a puppy who does not like being in the crate and wants to carry on, bark, and drive you nuts, I want you to take this bonker and I want you to give it a firm crack on the crate and say, no, or quiet or knock it off, okay? And you'll have to adjust. You have to be sure, like, you're not doing it too firm or too soft. And you will have to do this a few times to see what exactly works with your puppy, because every puppy's different. Some are harder, some are softer. Some will be like, some puppies will be like, oh my God, and they quiet down right away. Others will carry on. Don't engage, don't be emotional when you do this, but you want to interrupt them and make them stop, okay? And don't do it 20 times. You're going to do it once, knock it off, see what happens, walk away. Don't buy into when your puppy is carrying on that you will then turn around and let them out of the crate, because they just won and they have just trained you to reinforce their very bad behavior. So be careful and don't do that. The next thing you can do, an alternative to a crate, is an X-Pen. And you can get these at your local pet store. They're called X-Pens or exercise pens. They're like a playpen for when you had a toddler, you put them in the little playpen. It's very similar. It's made out of crate material. Sometimes they're nylon too, but just be careful that you get something that your puppy, sometimes they're hard plastic, but I've seen sometimes, puppies will chew at the nylon ones, so I prefer the wire ones, like the wire crate material. And you just have to see what they have at your pet store, or you can go on Amazon, and you want to get an appropriate size for whatever type of puppy that you have. So make sure that you're looking at the size for the dog. It's really good because it's a lot bigger than a crate, and you can put them in your kitchen or on a linoleum flooring. So if they do have an accident, you can clean it up easily. That's another thing to keep in mind. Just be careful. I wouldn't go for putting it on carpet just because of accidents with puppies. You will also run into that it might be too much freedom for your pup. Even just, it's still a small space, but it is bigger. It's probably 3 times bigger than the crate. And it might be okay for a little time out of the crate to stretch your legs and things like that. But if your puppy starts getting too wild in that bigger area, first of all, take it out, potty it, and then put it back in the crate. If you're home and you just don't have time to be playing with your pup, and you've already put in your training time, you've already walked your puppy, then if the exercise pen works out, fine. Maybe you get an hour out of it, or 2 hours. Maybe sometimes when you put them in there, it only is good for 30 minutes, and then they start to lose their marbles because they have more freedom, okay? So sometimes when we give more freedom to our puppies, they get a little more crazy, and that's when you have to dial it back, and that's when you want to crate the pup, okay? Because we gotta get them to learn to relax, as hard as that is for a puppy and also a dog. You can't have a crazed pup all the time, okay? The next thing is, the next thing is dog parks. A lot of people are very gung-ho on going to dog parks because they feel like, I've got to get my puppy out to socialize. It's true. We want our puppies to experience as many things, as many people and dogs and new experiences every single day. The more they experience, the less likely they are to have problems. But you must be safe about it. Please don't take your puppy to a dog park. Remember that puppies go through stages of vaccination, so you have to be sure that your puppy is fully vaccinated before you start taking it all over Kingdom Come, okay? You can take it in safe areas where you know the environment, and you can trust that your pup's going to be safe and not pick up some virus or sickness. But just to give you a quick example, some pet stores in my area offer puppy socialization, they call it, and they didn't require any vaccination schedule from the people who were bringing their dogs. You had no idea where the pups had been, where they were they in a daycare. One dog that came was 5 years old. He was a small dog, and these were smaller toy-sized puppies that were coming to this puppy social. And the one